We are pushing very hard to get this project completed by the end of December.
And it's a battle of the minds later on in the Love FM High School debates. We have details here on NewsNite with me, Emefa Apawu. Do join us with your thoughts and comments via WhatsApp is 0244 340 437. We're right back after the break.
I came to Bond because I wanted to expand my business.
Bond's intervention in our company has provided us with capital to grow our stock and also to expand our machinery.
Without Bond, I should have folded by now.
The way the girls relate to you, the way they talk to you, wow, I really love it.
Just a phone call and I'll be sorted out. That assurance is incredible.
Bond is the answer to the SMEs in Ghana.
Bond here, you come
this 10 years, come on, let's celebrate your success, our passion.
Bond, your success, our passion.
Don't come me. Hey, 10 pesos, 10 pesos. Vodafone is 10 years old and is giving you an anniversary gift of 10 times bonus and 10 pesos call rate across networks. Browse for 10 pesos per megabyte. Call Vodafone or any other network at the same rate of 10 pesos per minute. That's not all, oh. Share your scratch card with 2 more people the Kikimi style, and the 3 of you will each enjoy 10 times the value of your card. Dial *135# to subscribe. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Hey, Yunshi, I noticed that all the national stadia in Ghana have lasted for decades.
Oh, yes. But do you also know that the concrete bridges are also decades old?
Yes.
Only one company in Ghana can give you that guarantee, and that is Gasem.
Cement that guarantees smooth finishing of plastering.
That is the Gasem Super Rapid 32.5R. If you want to have strong blocks for any form of construction, use Gasem Super Strong 42.5R. For your time-tested bridges like the Adome, multi-story buildings, highways like the motorway, then it is Gasem Extra 42.5N.
And the good news is, all these cement products are made right here in Ghana.
Gasem, 3 cement grades, unique quality. Gasem, the nation builder.
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
Joy 99.7 FM, radio for the discerning listener.
Thanks for staying with us here on NewsNite. Let's get details now. We start from Agogo. We're heading to the State College there, and it has a student population of over 5,000 and is now abandoned. This is because authorities there have closed down the school after riots over electricity and water supply, resulting in destruction to property belonging to the school. The demonstration, led by some female students last night, left in its wake serious damages to the school bus, computers, air conditioning sets, and others. Timely intervention by the police stopped further destruction. So far, 22 students, including 18 females, are assisting the police in their investigation. Some few hours, the students were summoned and the decision to close down the school until Saturday was communicated to them. Here's the District Director of Education, Ernest Kwedrasare.
As a result of the massive destruction that took place last night, it has become necessary to close down the school. The closure has become a necessary option for the following reasons. One, you destroyed all the street lights on campus. We need time to fix them. You destroyed the plumbing installations on compound here. We need time to fix them. Electricity transmissions have been disrupted on campus here. We need time to fix them. You are going home to make way for the repairs of all the things that you destroyed. We also want you to be aware, to inform you further that these repairs are not going to be at the expense of the people standing here. It's going to be at the expense of you yourself and maybe your parents. And so we are going to calculate the cost of all the items you damaged in school year last night. And so as you go home, inform your parents that in due course the school authorities will inform you how much you are supposed to pay to fix the teaching learning materials and other logistics that you have destroyed on campus here. And so right from here, within the next 2 hours, 3 hours, you are to get back to your hometown to join your parents. You must also be aware. You must also be aware that investigations have already started, and some of your colleagues who have been found to be the ringleaders are already behind bars, and further investigations are going on. So all those who will be found to have been involved in this demonstration will certainly not get out of it. You will certainly be punished. And so disciplinary action will be taken against all those who were involved in the planning and then the execution of this unlawful demonstration. So that's the information we have for you. Thank you very much.
So you have Ernest Kwadwo Sari. He's the District Director of Education. Let's head to the phone lines now and speak to Love FM's Prince Apia. He's been at the Agogo State College all day and he's been monitoring the situation there. And he joins us on the line. Prince, is it just me or I heard the students jubilating when it was announced that they should go home?
Actually, it wasn't jubilating. It wasn't jubilation, I should say. They were responding to what the director was saying. Most of the students are not happy. The fact that they are supposed to go home, especially the final year students and the first year students who just came to school a few weeks ago. So most of them are not happy about the decision, though. But since authorities were speaking, they had to respond and clap after he finished talking.
Okay, we may have heard differently though, but I would want to find out the instructions were for it's supposed to take immediate effect, I should say. Is everyone gone?
After 3 p.m. when I was leaving the campus for other interviews, there were only teachers on campus and some school authorities holding series of meetings on campus, and there was a few students in front of the school. Most of them had left the campus, effective of what the school authorities had told them to do. So the closure is really on. No students is on campus, I should say.
Okay, so let's head to the substantive issue. The students were raising concerns about poor electricity and water supply, especially the female students. How real is the situation?
Yeah, so observation on campus, indicates that these things they were saying were really true. And information we gathered was that this water problem has been there since last term, and the students have complained about it. When we spoke to student leadership, for instance, they tell us that they've held a series of meetings with school authorities on ways to help address this particular challenge. This water challenge, for instance, they will have to leave the campus and visit some of the homes around to get water before they can use it to bath and do other things they had to. The electricity, for instance, they tell us that when it's time for press, for instance, where they need the electricity, school authorities do not give them the light, and they bring on the light after they are done with press. And it is something that they find is very unusual and they don't understand. So we went to the school. We realized that indeed there were no water overflowing in the tap, and the electricity is available, but not. Because it's not in the evening, we didn't see how it was supplied in the evening. But of course, there's electricity there.
Okay. We are told about some destruction to school properties. We've heard about street lights, school buses, computers, etc. You saw these. What's the extent of damage?
Yeah, right from the entrance of the school to the end, you see a lot of property being damaged there. The school bus is the first thing you see. The windscreens screens of the school bus, part of it broken. Furniture of some of the classrooms broken. Some of the offices of school authorities have been ransacked. The books spread across the compound everywhere. You see broken pieces of glasses everywhere. The senior housemaster's office, for instance, there was a keyboard. You can see that the keyboard has been broken into pieces, and it has also been spread on the campus. When you get to the computer laboratory, you realize that the air conditions have been pulled down and they are all damaged on the ground there. So a number of properties have been affected. Yeah.
Okay, Prince Apia, we're grateful. That's Prince Apia, the Love FM's Prince Apia, bringing us up to speed on the situation at the Agogo State College. Now, let's speak to the District Director of Education. You heard him earlier announcing to the students about the shutdown of the school with immediate effect. Ernest Kwejo Fari is the District Director, joins us on the line. Thank you very much for your time here on NewsNite. So, we heard your announcement, but sending away all 5,000 students, was that the only option you were left with?
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners. Yeah, as you referenced from one of your reporters, yes, demonstrations are not new in the country, especially in educational institutions. There are hundreds of children used to air out their grievances. But when a demonstration turns violence, you see, attacking school property, attacking human life, then it needs to be given a serious attention. And so we realize that these students organize themselves, try to vandalize everything on site. The very thing they are complaining about that is not sufficient. The little you have, you want to destroy it. Then there can be no justification for this kind of action. We totally condemn, in no certain terms, violent demonstration to address grievances. And so we have to move in and then do what is expected to prevent further destruction of school properties. And so the students have to be sent home. We are very much aware that with this double tracking system, where especially they have 41 days. So if you send students home for even 1 day, they lose it. And it's very difficult to recover it. We are very much aware. But under this circumstance, all the street lights in the schools have been destroyed. And so if we allow academic work to continue, they are going to spend the next few days under complete total darkness. And you know what such students can do under the cover of darkness. And so we have to send them home. We are not equally happy to use this as an option, but it's unavoidable. We have to send them home and then take time to fix those installations that they have destroyed. The water installations, the electricity installations, not to talk about the other equally important school academic installations.
Okay, so they've been complaining about water and electricity. They're saying that it's been erratic over the past few days. I don't know how long, but how long are you hoping to shut down the school? And how come the situation was not resolved? Did it come to your attention at any point as the district director that this school in particular did not have electricity nor water?
No, it's not a case of a constant cut of electricity. But the school did not have any choice when the electricity company moved in to demand that they replace their prepaid postpaid meter with a prepaid meter. And so this is a prepaid meter. And so every week the school had to buy a quantity of 2,000 cedis worth of a credit. And so they have to resort to judicious use of electrical energy. And so they didn't introduce anything new. Normally after prep hours, 10 p.m., lights are switched off. And then at 4 a.m., these lights are restored for normal early morning school activities to continue. It's an old practice. It's not a new thing the school authority brought on board. Nobody knows why at this time these students protested vehemently against that practice of switching lights off after 10 p.m.
Okay, but you mentioned street lights. I'm wondering, street lights also, does it go through the prepaid meters?
No. They don't go.
You said they switch on the street lights at 12 a.m. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, the street lights and then some other installations do not pass through the main meter serving the school, and so they are left on from 6 p.m. when they are switched on up to 6 a.m. the next morning.
Okay, so I get the sense that was the school's own arrangement to conserve energy, more like to be able to manage their resources. But was that duly communicated to the students?
Exactly. Periodically, the school authority needs them. For about 2 months ago, when they introduced it to this prepaid meter arrangement system, it's a system where if you don't pay, you don't get the supply. And so periodically, school authority needs them. This is our condition. This is how much we are buying per week. So let us all do it to conserve energy. After prep hours, 10 p.m., you have nothing doing in classrooms. You are not supposed to go and continue the prep in your dormitories. So dormitories lights also will have to go off. And so nobody knows why these students will not understand this simple arrangement. That has been around for a long time now. So normally when students want to resort to violence, they find all means to justify their actions.
So is that the arrangement in the entire region that private schools also buy their own prepaid metering, or the schools in the region, do they buy their own electricity? Is that the arrangement?
Yes, it is not an option. It's taken by the school, but they demand by the electricity company.
Okay.
And what they are saying is that all schools are going to. So it's a process they've started. At my own district office, I have also been forced to take this prepaid meter.
Okay. So how long will Agogo State? You've talked about the double track, for instance. We are all mindful of that. So how long will the school remain shut? Because we have third-year students.
Return to school on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. So we are using this to restore all the damaged electrical and plumbing installations. So we've contacted the technical men, and they say by Friday they should be able to finish. So Friday we go and stop progress of work, and then Saturday they all have to return to school for normal academic work to continue.
And 22 students have been arrested. Is that correct?
Yes. Police initial investigation uncovered who the ringleaders of these violent demonstrations were, and the national police went to pick them and then help them in their investigations. And so as we speak to you now, they have been granted bail. Police have taken their statements and the investigations are still continuing. If there's any fresh evidence where another student will have to be picked up to help in the investigation, the police will do that.
And 18 of them females, you say?
Yes.
What kind of roles did they play, especially the females, for instance?
Well, they were known to have led the attacks to some of the installations that were destroyed. And so some of their own colleagues who were not interested in that area mentioned names, and the police also indeed saw them. The action started at 11 p.m. last night. And so the police were brought in, they were all over. Some of the policemen, even including the police commander, were stunned. When they saw him, they put a barrier at a point. They didn't want anybody to cross. So in the attempt to get to the actual scene, they started hurling stones at the policemen. And so those who were throwing the stones and those who were found to have helped in the seen as the architects of the whole plan had to pick up to help the police in the further investigation.
But some raise questions that at least parents and guardians who are listening at this point raise questions about the kind of orientations that GES also gives to students at this level. Do we know? Is there anything of the sort?
Normally at the start of every academic year, they have a period of orientation where students are taken through, let them know how to use the safe way and the judicious way of using school facilities. You know, resources everywhere are scarce. So the little you have, you need to make judicious and efficient use so that you can prevent they will be there all the time for you to use.
Okay.
And so all these the students were taken to, especially the new students. It's done every year. So every year when we have fresh students, they are also taken through this. So periodically they are reminded to ensure that they use school facilities judiciously and safely. So it's a common practice that is known in the school every year.
We are grateful for your time, Mr. Ernest Kujosari. He's the District Director of Education in Agogo. And we can hear from the District Chief Executive of Asante Achim area, also Francis Otibwating, who was directed the police to release the arrested students.
I think around 11 p.m. I was sleeping and I got a distress call from one of the teachers from this school. And what we realized that the students were going on rampage. They were demonstrating, going over, destroying a lot of properties. And I think they destroyed air conditioners, computers, river blades in the school. But the school buses too were also destroyed. But I think some of the students who were arrested, the police did a very good job by trying to control the situation. They came, especially the police commander. He was here throughout the night. He went home even around 6 a.m. And they did a very good job to normalize the situation. But as I said earlier, students should be law-abiding, and we have grievance procedures. So if you are aggrieved, there is a way you should pass through your grievances through the authorities. And if you get to the district chief executive, we also have a way of solving all these problems. So I think those who are also arrested in police custody, you just give them some time to sign a bond of good behavior. And in fact, you have instructed the police authorities to give them a police inquiry bill.
You heard that the District Chief Executive Officer of Asante Achim, Francis Otibwating. This is NewsNight here on Joy 99.7 FM. And in some few hours or so, about 24 hours, Raymond, right? We'll be airing Who Killed the Judges. And let's start off, before I speak to Raymond, the police investigator whose team discovered the charred remains of the 3 Superior Court justices 36 years ago has been speaking to Joy News about what may have led to the killings. DSP Edmund Ohiniesa says the judges may have been targeted because they ruled on cases involving members at the high echelons of military power. Justices Kwejo Ejepong, Fred Pokusa Kodie, and Mrs. Cecilia Crantinado, as well as Major Samakwa, retired, were shot and killed during a curfew imposed by the PNDC government in 1982. DSP Ohiniesa spoke to us from his base in London.
At the time when they established or the coup came into place, the aim of the ruling government was to discredit the judiciary. So they made claims that these judges, they were corrupt. But one thing common is that they all reviewed AFRC convictions. And everybody knows that these convictions were not safe. People were tortured, and how can you try our generals and top brass within minutes and then say they are guilty, sentenced to death? This happens only in, I would say, backward systems.
So DSP Ohinia sat there, and he will be in the final documentary, the special assignment. But let's hear from Kwabena Ejepong. He's a son of one of the judges, and he's been recounting to us moments when he discovered that his father has been abducted and killed.
Kwabena assumed that his father would return home after helping his friends out. So he slept that night only to wake up the next morning to the reality that his father might have stayed a bit too long with the visitors.
We were not to notice that he didn't come home. I just went and slept. So it was only in the morning that we had a loud knock on the door, and it was coming from our next door neighbors, and that happened to be Justice Pokusa Kodie. So the wife came to come and inform my dad that last night the husband had been picked, and that she saw them. I think she argued a bit, but they were able to take the husband away. But apparently it was after that that they came to our house. We were not the next door neighbors. So I didn't even get it. I just got rushed up to my father's bedroom to go and tell him what has happened. I got to the bedroom, he wasn't there. So I went to my mother's room. I said, "What's Daddy?" She said, "He should be asleep." She said, "He's not there." I went downstairs and the food remained the same way he left it. You know, not finished eating, nobody had touched it, you know, so we were confused. Then I also ran out of the house and went to Justice Eduse's house, which is just across. The judges used to stay around the Ridge area. So it was when I got to Justice Eduse's house that he confirmed that this was what he called Justice Apalu, who was then the Chief Justice at the time. So it was then that we realized that there was something serious happening and that some 3 judges had been picked the previous night.
And that's Kwabena Ejapon, the son of one of the High Court judges that were killed. And we are seeking to know who killed those judges. And Raymond Akwa is the producer of this special assignment documentary, Crimes That Shook the Nation. This is the first part. And he joins us in studio. Raymond, so who killed the judges?
That detail is what you find in the documentary when you watch it tomorrow, and you can't miss it for any reason.
Okay, so which platforms, once again, for those of us who still do not know, where can we watch or listen to it?
So here on Joy FM, you can also watch it on Joy News. It will be on Adum TV and also on Adum FM. And all our online platforms, My Joy Online, the other applications that we use on this network, all of them will be airing at the same time.
Okay, so there are a number of messages, and one question runs through why we chose to highlight this historic issue for the Joy News special assignment.
So it's instructive to know that this is the first time that any such documented evidence of what has happened over the period. You might have snippets of information from specific periods and with specific, but this one details what has happened from 1982 straight down to what they call it, the 36-year attempt to bring finality to the matter in this particular case. And we will chronicle all of them, give you more detail in that. Why is it also important? It's important because you need to put your history in the right perspective. You don't need to sit down for external people to come bring it to you and even distort it and give it to you in forms that you may not be excited about. Also, we need to let a new generation, which is very young, which is growing up, get to know what really was their history so they can learn from it. Indeed, I contend that if the gentlemen who are involved in the Muntie 3 matter were minded by this particular history, there's no way that made the kind of commentary that they made. So for us to be able to conclusively say never again, you need to have a better appreciation for all ages, something that Ghanaians can access of their own, which is, I mean, the most objective you can get and not skew to a section or the other, which can resolve the matters that are important in this country once and for all.
So Raymond has gone through the pains together with a team, 2 years to give you history lessons in 2 hours, okay? But some of you have been telling us about your expectations, your excitement. I'll read some of your messages, but first, some of you sent us voice notes on your expectations.
It's in relation to the much anticipated video of your journalism in investigating the killings of the 3 Supreme Court judges. I think I'm not there to pinpoint somebody or to call names.
I personally think it's actually been a very big mystery, and everyone is looking forward to see how the whole thing is going to play out. So I think the expectation is very high, so we're all looking forward to that.
Okay, now I'll be looking forward to this show, and I hope that you'll be able to reveal some of the things that happened that we did not understand at the time. You know, at that time, Ghana was going through a very dark part of its history, and information was controlled. And when it happened, everybody was afraid. So I do hope that this show will be able to unearth some of the things that we do not get to know at the time.
I'm sure you've been bombarded with a lot of questions, and some of them are also excited about it. Some messages that we've received. Let me go take you through some of them. This one from Papa Osibi. So he says, so what is the purpose of the National Reconciliation Commission's work during Kufuor's regime? Why open old wounds? Are we now trying to find new killers and prosecute them? That's some of the questions people are asking. This one also says we have to get to the bottom of this matter and bring the perpetrators to book. Even if the perpetrators are dead, their bones should be exhumed contempt and put on trial. And this one also says, we shall find out who killed Kwabna Ba Redu, Yana, amongst others. And this one also, Abna Nyameche says, Joy News, please go on YouTube and search for the interview with, tells us, giving us more information. I'm sure Raymond will take that up as well. Apia Kusi says, Rawlinson's constitution, some of them I can't take. This one also says, some KB Asari, you don't need to know who killed the judges or Tom. And then this one says, I really love this documentary. Some of us who never knew about this will listen and learn something, or will add to my knowledge in history. This one, it says, hashtag who killed the judges. And the wait will finally be over tomorrow at 8:30 on all our platforms. Yes. And you say you won't tell me who killed the judges.
You'll get to know. Okay. I'll tell you when I get over.
Okay, all right. So I'll get to know later, but it will be airing tomorrow on all multimedia platforms. Still to come here on NewsNite, a newlywed husband who died in an accident on his way to his wedding reception at Atomic in Accra has been buried.
The drinks, people don't take the drink because how the thing come, now everybody's surprised. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening?
And on World Habitat Day today, we'll bring you an update on 2 major housing projects that are still under construction, despite several promises made by successive governments.
Maybe disappointing to those who may see the beauty of this project is the fact that parts of the various units have actually been taken over by weeds.
We are pushing very hard to get this project completed by the end of December.
We have details after business with George. We are fit. Nice tie.
Thank you, MFA.
Must it always be blue because you're a second?
Yes, of course, the blue magic. And don't forget our bonfire is coming up. So
it
always has to be the blue magic. It turns everything around.
Okay, what's in business?
Such a sad incident, wedding, it's a very important event in anybody's life. And for such a thing to happen to them, so unfortunate.
Very, very.
Well, for cocoa farmers, if they give Cocoa Board any 64-kilo bag of beans, they get a price for it. And for the next crop season, where they wouldn't see any increase in that bag that they'll sell to Cocoa Board. And also some major oil marketing companies have reduced their prices at the pump. So if you bought fuel at the pump today, it's gone down by 5 pesos per litre. I'll tell you which are those big
pesos.
Yeah, per litre. And let's look at all the other companies that are also dropping their prices. The business news on NewsNite is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, the number one stop shop for all your office essentials, and Mark Auto Parts, distributors of Chevy cars.
In this part of the world, we rise early, way before the sunrise. We plan, we pray, we prep, just so we are a step ahead. We keep the conversations going to stay connected to family, friends, and business. They say, Agrobeswa Ifrianopa, start your day bright with MTN Kokroko. For only 1 Ghana cedi, you can enjoy 400 megabytes of data and 30 minutes of free MTN to MTN calls every day from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. everywhere you go. Dial *138# to buy MTN Kokroko bundle now.
The Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited's Back to School promotion is here with us again. From the 1st of August to the 30th of September, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is giving a generous 10% discount on all school items like textbooks, pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and much more across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takoradi, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0302 764 101 or 0302-764-209 or email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, this very moment, it's the pulse of possibility, potential, power. It's time
to make your move,
to take that step.
The time
is now.
Now. The great things you do tomorrow start with the small steps you take right now. So take that step with Old Mutual. Call us on 0302-230-638 and make now count. Old Mutual. Do great things every day.
Joy 99.7 FM, radio for the discerning listener.
Welcome back to Business on NewsNight. And Cocoa Board has kept the price at which it purchases every 64 kilo bag of cocoa bean from farmers unchanged. The board will still be paying 475 cedis per 64 kilogram for the next crop season, which spans from this month to September next year. Minister for Agri, Dr. Freya Koto, explains to Joy Business the move was to cushion farmers against the losses incurred from the declining cocoa prices.
What determines the price the whole world is the London terminal price. The London terminal price, as you heard, from 3,300 in the last 18 months has dropped. It dropped below 2,000 and is now hovering around 2,000. So there is nothing that we can do, but it really, as all the other countries did, from Asia to South America and to Africa, even West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, we should have reduced the price. But the government was determined that we'll maintain the price and rather look for savings from other areas of the value chain, which we did successfully and we continue to do this year in order to protect the farmers.
Now, the timing of this announcement was supposed to be in line with Ivory Coast, a move that was expected to also check smuggling to that country. However, Ivory Coast rather increased the price that they also pay to cocoa farmers. Now, some of the major oil marketing firms have dropped fuel prices at the pumps from this morning. Now, this is in line with the 2-week review of petroleum prices at the pumps. Now, is this a sign that the OMCs are now finally complying with the deregulation policy? There is more in this report.
All the major oil marketing companies have assigned different reasons for the marginal reduction in prices. This is despite the expectation that petrol is expected to go down by 1.22%, while diesel is, however, expected to go up by 0.25%. This review is in line with changes in prices as part of the deregulation policy. Over the past 2 months, most of the firms have not complied, even when it was clear that the prices should have gone by almost 5%. Our checks with major oil firms like Shell, Gulf, Total show that they have all dropped their prices at the pumps by 5 pesos per litre. Following this review, a litre of petrol and diesel is from today selling at 5 cedis 7 pesos. This should mean that a gallon of fuel should go for 22 cedis 81 pesos. So if you need about 5 gallons a week to fill your tank, then your budget now stands at 114 cedis 5 pesos. The importers of these products have attributed the marginal reduction for petrol to demand dynamics. This is during winter when there is high demand for diesel, and obviously that could have an impact on petrol prices. However, there have been questions about the real impact of this development on businesses. Well, some have argued that looking at the fact that firms buy fuel in high volumes, even a peso of reduction could have an impact on their expenditure.
And that was a Business Desk report. Now, prices of some major foodstuffs and commodities will decline further in the coming months. That's according to the latest report by commodities trading firm Isoko. The projected reduction will be influenced by some good harvest season that would impact on supply. Isoko argued that the recent increase in transport fares have had little impact on prices. Most commodities like maize, rice, millet over the past months have witnessed some reduction in price, with the expectation that, however, tomatoes went up by 30% in terms of the price it's sold in the market at a crate. Now, economist Ebo Duncan is warning that the rebasing of the economy could put some pressure on government in terms of improving tax collections and possibly a cut in donor support. Now, this follows the change in the way the Ghana Statistical Service calculates economic growth. It has resulted in the economy expanding by little over 24%. But Mr. Duncan, as the development has also shown that the informal sector contributes little to the economy.
GSS has been able to disaggregate the GDP by informal and then formal. And we all saw that looking at the formal against the informal is still small. 73.3 billion in 2017 against 256.6 billion, you see. So straight away, you know that by including the informal sector, if we are even able, so it's now letting us know that the cry of expanding, widening the tax net and then other will not bring so much to the kitty.
Now, the economy is still services-led despite the change in the way of calculation. Now, management of Airtel Tigo have assured subscribers that the current challenges that has hit the network should be over by the end of this month. Most subscribers were hit by some challenges, making it difficult for them to make and receive calls. The company attributes this problem to the upgrading of its systems as well as completing the integration process. Its chief executive, Metua Kambangambi, said all the laydown procedures were followed in dealing with this action, while assuring that all customers would be compensated.
Intention has never been to disrupt consumer communication, and we do try to limit the time taken of these upgrades within our maintenance windows, which are typically at night. However, if there's spillover, we try to communicate as quickly and effectively as possible with our consumers. And where there are any challenges that persist beyond these maintenance windows, our customers are really invited to come into our stores for us.
There are some people who are still complaining about compensation. Are you following the laid-down procedures in compensating customers who have been hit by this?
Absolutely. So first things first, when we talk about the assistance in stores, there are times where a customer would require a SIM upgrade. We are stating categorically that these SIM upgrades are completely free, and the SIM is coupled with free airtime to the tune of 20 Ghanaian cedis and a 1 gigabyte of data. So customers can not only be compensated but also can experience the new network upgrades that we have now conducted.
The company is expected to close the whole chapter on this integration process also by the end of this month. And the Bank of Ghana has launched a data center and disaster recovery site in Kumasi. It creates a robust business continuity system to deal with incidents that could disrupt operations and possible reputational damages at the bank. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, says the center will serve as a backstop actually to deal with IT-related disruptions. He spoke at the official launch of the Bank of Ghana's data center in Kumasi.
The project started in 2016 under contractors Messrs Supertech Limited (STL) and completed this year. The Governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, says it's because the bank cannot afford an operational shutdown under whatsoever circumstance.
Almost all operations of the bank require use of one IT facility or the other. In recognition of the criticality of the IT needs, the bank developed an information security management system strategy, which among others emphasizes preventive as well as corrective measures to deal with IT-related disruptions.
Dr. Addison says the center will act as a backup in case of emergencies and deal with IT-related disruptions. Otu Force representative Akomfore Hene Nana Oheneba Akwesia Beye waged into the banking crisis. He said government must restrain former Bank of Ghana governors from establishing and owning their own banks to prevent a recurrence of the banking crisis. Prince Apia reporting.
And here in the studios of Joy 99.7 FM, my name is George Yaffin. To the stock market, if you hold MTN shares, the value of each one has gone up by 3 pesos and is now worth 91 pesos, far higher than the opening public offer price of 75 pesos. Cal Bank was also went up by a peso and is now worth 1 Ghana cedis, 18 pesos. And that's all for business on Newsnight.
So just before you go, I would want to find out how is the CD faring?
I'm still dancing closer to the dreaded 5 cedi mark, and today it closed around 4 Ghana cedis, 97 pesos.
4.97.
Yes, MFI.
Okay. All right. And that's George Riafe with the latest from the world of business. Let's take some of your messages that you've sent in. You've been commenting on all the stories we've covered so far, from top story up until now. And this one says, Joy FM, whilst you want the current generation to know our history by showing who killed the judges, please do another one on how Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. And that's from Nene and Yumute from Dansiman. This one from Ebenezer in Latabia, she says, I wish to call upon social stakeholders such as the clergy, political parties and civil society to condemn the vandalism that occasionally occur on our campuses. The situation where people, especially aggrieved workers, use argument or force instead of force of argument is what is trickling down to our youth on our campuses. And this one from Kwame Edu says, I'm much concerned about this agricultural issue. That's all he says. And this one also says, I'm treating all public institutions to consider solar lighting system as alternative to make use of all this abundant sunlight energy. Abba Ghana. That's from Steve in Asamankese. And this one also says, I just spoke to someone from Agogo, and the issue is not just at that school. Same issue at the nursing training school there. Bad water and electricity supply. He says it's not a crime to be a student. Joseph also says Pram SHS, like Agogo State College, has similar problems, and if care is not taken to resolve the water problem in the school, which has existed for 3 years now, similar situation may occur. And the final one from Kofi in Kumasi says, why can't we put the tractors at the district level so that farmers can use it for a fee? Some of your messages that you've sent via WhatsApp on 0244340437. Now, the newlywed man who died in an accident on his way to his wedding reception at Atomic, close to the Kwabinya police station, has been buried at Medina Cemetery in adherence to Islamic custom. Wife of the deceased has been hospitalized as the family struggles to come to terms with his death. Police say the newlyweds were on their way to the Africana guest house near the Atomic roundabout for their wedding reception when the deceased lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a tree. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Behind me is the Africana guest house where the wedding reception was supposed to take place. Some family members are distraught and saddened by the incident, and some of them who came from very far places are still here at the guest house as the family finalizes plans for the burial of the deceased. One of them I've been speaking to says that they were here waiting for the celebration to start sometime around 12:30 to 1 p.m. when news reached them that the bridegroom was actually involved in an accident together with the bride. We are told that the deceased ran his vehicle into a tree here on the Hacho stretch. I've also been speaking to a security man here at the Africana guest house, Alasan Seidu. He says the deceased was a benevolent man. He has been sharing some fond memories of him. He has also been narrating to us events leading to the accident.
Friday, he come here. He said he want to come and decorate the place. We could do the marriage. Now you come there, myself, I take and joke, say, oh, today, Sunday, they will go join together. He said, oh, it's good, because if somebody is a quiet guy. Now, day like this, just see some car make accidents from this route. So I said it passed after the police station. They are coming. The car just passed one way. Go knock the tree. The food, because this is happening. Nobody chop because the drinks they give the people. They are waiting. If you come, they start they celebrate. The drinks, people don't take the drink because how the thing come. Now everybody confused. Everybody surprised. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? When the people serve, they bring the food. They don't serve anyone food serve give anybody. Just they are taking the soft drink.
One of the organizers for the celebration that would continue after the wedding is Frank Hodo. Frank says in the morning before the incident happened, he fixed all the sound system and made sure the decor was ready for the celebration later that afternoon. He says the last time he heard from the bridegroom was on Saturday.
The place was set to maximum. Everybody is just awaiting for his arrival and the bride. So I rushed back home, and around 4, my wife came and informed me that Obolo, who is coming to do the wedding reception, is no more because he got an accident on the way to this. At first, I didn't believe it. Because I saw him. That was Saturday, 4:30 p.m. standing right here, beside his car. That was Saturday, 29, 4:30 p.m. That was a day to the wedding reception on Sunday.
We are told by police officers that the deceased who was driving the car at that point lost control of the vehicle and then ran into a tree. It was very difficult getting the family members to talk to us because a lot of them were still shattered by the news of the demise of the bridegroom. One of the friends of the deceased I've also been speaking to said he received an invitation from the deceased 3 days ago about the wedding reception. He really did not say anything, and he was hoping that they were going to surprise him at the wedding reception. So they were actually on their way. These are old students of St. John's Grammar. They were actually on their way, and then they received the news. They did not believe it until they got to the reception ground when they were welcomed with, wailing from some family members who had gathered for the celebration to actually. And police officers tell us that they will be continuing with the investigations to unravel the circumstances under which this accident actually happened.
You heard Maxwell Agbagba bringing us that report. on that rather sad incident over the weekend. And it's time now for sports. Baba, welcome.
Let me tell you something that could probably lift up your spirits. Ghana might just host the 2023 All Africa Games, and you get to see about how many countries we have in Africa again? Over 50 countries. Yeah, we'll get to see all of them converge in Ghana. Maybe 2 game villages, the University of Ghana and probably Cape Coast. How about that?
Not that exciting, but I'll make do with it.
All right.
Tell us more.
All right. So Ghana is bidding to host the 13th edition of the All Africa Games in 2023. This will be the first time Ghana will be hosting the multi-sport event, should the bid be accepted by the African Union and the Association of the National Olympic Committees of Africa, ANOCA. An evaluation team made up of representatives from the African Union Commission, the African Union Sports Council, and ANOCA visited Ghana in June of this year to evaluate and assist in strengthening the country's bid for the rights to organize the 2023 Games. Deputy Sports Minister Perry Curtis Okujeto brings us up to speed on plans so far.
Team Ghana has some consultants that are working on our bid, and in October we're going to be presenting our bid to win the bid to host the 2023 All Africa Games. As we speak, there have been teams, inspection teams that have come and gone a couple of times already, even as we prepare our bid from the African Union and ANOCA. The first step that we've taken is, as a ministry, we've held meetings with the federations, and then we've held meetings with the Olympic Committee to sort of begin to fashion out a framework where we are not just hosting the All Africa Games, but by the time that we host the All Africa Games, these athletes plus other athletes will be groomed and be prepared to participate in the games to be able to win medals for Ghana.
That was Deputy Sports Minister Perry Curtis Okujeto. Away from the 2023 All Africa Games, the organizing committee, OC, for FIFA competitions, chaired by Alexander Seferian, met at the home of FIFA in Zurich earlier today, with the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup at the core of discussions. One of the topics on the agenda was a proposal to increase the prize money for the FIFA Women's World Cup 2019, which will include preparation money for the first time, as well as funds for a club benefits program. The details of the package will be further reviewed by the Finance Committee before being put forward for the approval of the FIFA Council, which is due to meet in Kigali on October 26, 2018. The OC approved the procedures for the draw for the Women's World Cup 2019, which is due to take place in Paris on December 8, 2018. And the following will be considered. Teams will be allocated to pots according to the FIFA Coca-Cola Women's World Ranking to be released on December 7. There will be 4 pots of 6 teams, which will be drawn into 6 groups of 4 teams. No 2 teams from the same confederation shall be drawn into the same group, with the exception of the European teams represented by 9 slots. And each group must have at least 1, but no more than 2 European teams drawn into it. Thus, 3 out of the 6 groups will have 2 European teams. Some modification for the Women's World Cup by FIFA. That's your sport. The sports page on myjoyonline.com.
Enjoy the rest of the evening, Babs. Now, almost 2 years after the inauguration of some 1,500 housing units under the Saglemi housing project, there's no sign of life in what was described as a massive leap towards addressing Ghana's housing deficit. You'll recall that Deputy Works and Housing Minister Frida Prempeh told my colleague Evans Mensah in New York that they found evidence of shoddy work and potential corruption in the Saglemi affordable housing contract. And now, former President John Mahama commissioned the first phase of the project in June 2016, but the ministry says the contractors have only completed less than 500 of the 1,500 units. Joy News' Joseph Akable has been to the site of this controversial housing project and reports that weeds have taken over parts of the uncompleted structure.
The housing project, pegged at $180 million, rests on a 300-acre land off the Accra-Aflao Road. 1,502 housing unit facility comprising 1 to 3 bedroom apartments and townhouses were to be built. They were expected to be sold at subsidized rates for low-income earners to afford. It is to be a complete city with industrial and recreational facilities, schools, shopping malls, and other social amenities. It forms part of Ghana's push to tackle its housing deficit that has for years been pegged at 1.7 million. Very beautiful housing units one can observe when you are using the Accra-Aflao Road. It is the Saglemi housing project. From afar, it looks completed and occupied by people. But a closer interaction with sources within the unit, the project has been abandoned since the change in government. By abandoned, our sources explained to us that there hasn't been any progress in the work. The second fact that may be disappointing to those who may see the beauty of this project is the fact that parts of the various units have actually been taken over by weeds, as movement within it is somewhat difficult. This unit has been in the news quite recently after the Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Frida Prempeh, raised some concerns.
They contracted OAS to put up 5,000 affordable houses at the cost of 200 million. That was in 2014. We're hoping that by 2 years' time they'll be able to complete. Somewhere along the line, they met and reduced the scope of works from 5,000 to 1,400 and 1,504 at the same amount of 200 million. They further reduced it to 1,408 at the same amount, then further reduced it to 1,204. The last time I met with the contractors, I asked them if the NACUFAD wants to commission Saglemi affordable houses, how many can you offer us? And they were talking about 442.
Deputy Works and Housing Minister Frida Prempeh ending my colleague Joseph Akable's report. Now, let's head to the Ashanti region where the 1,998 Sokori Mampong affordable housing project remains uncompleted for 11 years. Inshira FM's Asenso Mensa reports.
Sitting on a 50-acre land, the 1,098 apartment housing project, which commenced about 11 years ago, is at its final stage of construction. Over 3,000 potential inhabitants will generate huge volumes of waste. In a country where the top 10 diseases for outpatient department attendants are sanitation related, managers of the project are exploring waste recycling options. Project consultant Ernest Bannon throws more light on the new technologies.
That project we are doing out there is not, strictly speaking, a biogas plant per se. It is a whole central sewage system, and the biogas unit is part of it.
That's Inshira FM's Asenso Mensa's report. Let's stay in the Ashanti region because you know by now that is the Love FM High School debate is underway, and we're told that today Tepa SHS has eliminated Kumasi Anglican SHS. Guess what? They've been talking about social media, how social media has been beneficial to the youth. I'm sure you're debating that wherever you are. Kwesi Deborah has been monitoring events and joins us on the line. How exciting has this debate been, Kwesi?
MFA, I must say, has been an exciting event. We're having lots of surprises, but the one thing that we're having is with the previous events that we had, with the previous contest, we had the Kumasi schools taking over and everything, but today we had Tepa for the first time. They are the only school outside Kumasi which has been able to, vanquish Kumasi school. That is Kumasi Anglican. So it has been an exciting event. We're expecting more. And one thing that I must say is that we're having lots of girls participating. So there are more females as compared to the males.
And of course, we all know that females are the best debaters. That's one we can't question, can we?
Absolutely. So it's we're getting interested. So we're having one more contest to go. That is Prempeh College. They'll be taking the final bite. So we're having, but for the events that we had so far, it's been brilliant. We having so many talents, budding talents. We're having them. And so we're expecting more in the previous contest that we'll be having. So this is the 116th stage. So on Wednesday, we're going to have the final pairing.
Okay.
And we'll begin with the semi-final.
Thank you very much, Kwesi Deborah, bringing us up to speed on the Love FM High School debate. I must say that I used to do that when I was in high school. Look where it ended me. So take it seriously. And that's it for NewsNite here on Joy 99.7 FM. That's My Opinion is up next with Nana and Sakwao. And guess what? He's asking who should be president. You want to stay. I am MFA Pau. Thanks for your company.